Hey, everybody. Welcome back to CAF's Heroes of Sport. My name is Bob Babbitt, co-founder of the Challenged Athletes Foundation. Every week, we get to meet some of the world's greatest challenged athletes. This week, honored to have Abby Dunn with us. Abby, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. So as a young girl, you grew up thinking about, I want to go to the Olympics in gymnastics.
Yeah, I've played sports ever since I was little. So,
You played everything,
yeah.
soccer, basketball, pretty much everything. And what was in gymnastics, what was your favorite event?
My favorite event was either trampoline or bars because I always thought those were the most fun.
Yeah, exactly. So when you were 13 years old, you were diagnosed with acute flaccid myelitis,
Yes.
and it affects the nervous system, weakens the muscles and reflexes of the body. It was one of those things that came on really quickly, right?
Yeah, I was paralyzed within 3 hours.
So 3 hours after you went to the hospital because you were noticing tingling, or what were the symptoms?
So my back had hurt for like a week, but
Yeah.
we didn't really think anything of it because I was playing soccer. So one night my hip felt numb and I told my dad, and then by the end of the night I couldn't walk, so we drove to the emergency room and I was transferred to UC Davis.
So at 13 years old, and now you're paralyzed.
Yeah.
How did you react to that? How did you deal with it?
Um I kind of just tried to find like ways to not look at my injury as something bad, and then that's when sports came into my life,
Yeah.
which helped a lot. So,
Yeah, that's the cool things. I think people underestimate the power of sport and how important it is for all of us. So when you first, was that when you went to Ability First sports camp in Chico? That changed things for you?
yeah, because I was only 8 months post injury, and
Yeah.
ability really showed me how other kids can connect with each other because I had never been around any other kids in wheelchairs or even known about wheelchair sports. And so they really opened my eyes to that. And so,
Yeah, what I love now, you at that camp, do you stay in cabins, and are the counselors wheelchair bound as well?
we stay in the Chico State dorms,
Uh-huh.
and the coaches are in wheelchairs, but the counselors usually aren't. So
Okay.
all of our coaches are in wheelchairs and have that perspective to help us.
So I bet that had to be really helpful, just
Mhm.
seeing, not just the other kids, but also the adults, the coaches, just
Yeah.
seeing how quickly and how easily they moved around.
Yeah.
And what sports did you gravitate to?
Basketball, rugby, and water skiing. Those,
Nice. And,
yeah.
did you realize pretty quickly that basketball was going to be your sport?
Yeah. And then after that, I joined a wheelchair basketball team for a little bit, but because I live in such a rural area, I had to start playing on my own. But
And so you went to a wheelchair basketball camp, University of Texas Arlington,
yes, 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And some of those athletes were going off to play at Arizona.
Hmm.
Did that influence you in terms of making your decision that, hey, maybe Arizona might not be a
Yeah.
bad place to go?
Yeah. I really was looking forward to college sports, and the people that were going there, they really made it seem like it was going to be really fun. And then Arizona reached out to me, and I was like, ooh.
So, what's the best part of your game as a wheelchair basketball player?
My favorite part is just the teammates and like how everybody like gets along and stuff like that.
And in terms of what role do you play? You more of a forward, a center, guard? What do you prefer?
I'm like a defender player. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah.
But your goal is, you talked about trying to get to the Paralympics at some point, correct?
Yes.
Cool. And I mean, you're 18 years old, and
Yes.
you've got, I see basketball, water skiing, snow skiing, WCMX, track and field. So track and field is part of your life too.
Yes.
And what I don't think people understand, if track and field chair would be different than a tennis chair or a basketball chair, how many different sports chairs do you have around the house?
Um, I have my everyday chair, which is also my WCMX chair. I have my basketball chair, and I also have my sprint chair, which is
Yes.
different than all of my other chairs. So,
And in terms of this it, track and field, do you have a specialty there? What do you like in track?
I throw shot put, and I do the 100, 200, and 400. But my track season was cut short, so.
Yes. Yeah. Have you been, whoops, have you had, you look great. Have you been to some of our adaptive track and field workouts for CAF?
Yeah, last year I attended the one in January through February,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was really fun and really helped me get into sprinting.
How do they, basketball and track, do they complement each other? Does track help your basketball in terms of speed and acceleration?
Yeah, track really helps me get like more cardio so I can be faster on the basketball court.
Yeah. So what, do you have a favorite CAF moment?
My favorite CAF moment was just when I got to meet all of the disabled coaches, and they really, like last year during the track and field thing, I got to meet people that helped me learn how to use my track chair because I really didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
Yeah.
In terms of wheelchair basketball, have you been able to travel and be, I mean, obviously not now, but
No.
before that, and that a little too early at that point, I bet.
Yeah, I haven't been able to travel too much since COVID, but before that, I used to go down to where Borp plays and
Yes.
places like that.
Very cool. Is there a one basketball game that you played that made you realize that you could be pretty good at this?
I don't remember. It was when I was newly injured and I was on my first basketball team and I was playing against adults.
Yes.
And I actually scored, and I was actually so proud of myself that I was playing against adults and got a basket.
So in terms of your friends, do you have a different group of friends now or the same friends from before and after your diagnosis?
I've always had a pretty small group of friends, and they've stayed around. So,
Yeah, good.
but I've also made wheelchair friends from sports camps and stuff like that, which is really nice.
Like you said, you're from a small town. That's hard, right? To be in a small place when you don't have access to, especially during COVID, when you can't get out. How hard has that been for you this COVID time?
It's a little difficult, especially because rural towns aren't that accessible either. So I can't just go down to a basketball court because we don't have one. So
Right.
it's like you
There's
gotta
no place to play.
Yeah.
So what did you train on your own then? Trying to figure out, like, working on your dribbling, working on just passing against the wall? What type of stuff do you do?
I used to do dribbling in the garage sometimes, and then I have a trainer for my sprint chair, so I do that.
So cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love
but
the
we
fact
have a lot of lakes, so I go water skiing all summer.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you do much snow skiing as well?
I don't do as much snow skiing just because I have to travel farther to get an accessible snow ski, but water skiing is my go-to.
When you look back at the diagnosis, you're 13 years old now, you're 18 years old. It seems like you adapted fairly quickly. It's like, okay, this happened and I'm moving on. How do you look back on it now? How are you different from when you were diagnosed?
I'm a lot more independent now, and I don't let people, when I was first diagnosed, I'd let people's opinions kind of weigh on me more. Like, oh, they think I can't do anything, so that must mean I can't do anything. But now I don't let people's opinions get to me, and I'm just a lot more independent.
Do you find that there's more resources for kids in wheelchairs now than maybe there were when you were first diagnosed?
I think so, a little bit maybe, because like their kids are realizing that there's more than just one chair that they can use.
Yeah.
And they have CAF to help them, and they have other people to look up to.
How important has CAF been to you?
It's been really important. It helps kids like see other people in wheelchairs and learn how to do their sports, even if they never thought they could do a sport.
it's funny because you're 18 years old, you're still a very young woman, and I'm betting that you're having younger kids who are now looking to you for
Mhm.
input, right? Are you seeing that? Because people are more accessible now. People
Yeah.
can find you. Are you finding that parents of kids and kids themselves are reaching out to you?
Yeah, a lot of parents always reached out to me. They're like, "How do you stay so positive? I need help having my daughter's son be positive after their diagnosis." So,
How do you? How do you stay so positive?
sports and good
Yeah,
friends.
sports and good friends. There's nothing better. Abby, we love having you part of CAF family. I can't wait to watch you play at University of Arizona. That's the coolest thing. I love the fact that wheelchair athletes are getting scholarships to go to college. There's nothing better in the world, and those Paralympic hopes and dreams are still there, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking Paris. Nothing wrong with starting your Paralympic career in either Paris or maybe LA.
Yep.
Right here in California. That'd be great. Abby, thank you so much for taking time and joining us on CAF's Heroes of Sport. It's been a pleasure to get to meet and chat with you.
Thank you. It was nice talking to you guys.
All right, that's Abby Dunn again. This is CAF's Heroes of Sport. My name is Bob Babbitt. Check us out next time, everybody. Thanks so much. See ya.